that is got positive vibes and positive mojo that has to go around and bash other people. Okay, so you guys have to remember, if you've got a troll and you're dealing with them, it is because they are miserable with their own life, and they're going to try to bring you down with them. Don't let them. Okay, don't, because there's no reason. All right, so when you got somebody that's trolling you, and when you've got somebody that's picking on you, just remember 99% of the time, whatever they say is because they're insecure about it with their darn self. I almost cursed on my show again. All right, so I need y'all to remember, when you're dealing with a troll, that they are very small-minded, very miserable, and don't deserve an ounce of your attention. All right, so please, please, please remember to pray for the trolls and wish them the day that they deserve, and then block them. Okay, that is my advice on trolls. Now, my quote and question for you guys, and again, guys, thank you for the favorites, thank you for the gifts. During my featured show, my attention will be on my guests, so I cannot thank you for all of them. Folks in my stream, remember, thank them for me a little bit. If they're trying to get my attention, you guys, please remind them, smash that star, come back, and we could chat when my show's not running. But for this 1 hour a week, it is my guests and myself, and that's who I focus on. That being said, experience is a good teacher, but she sends in terrific bills. What's a scary but exciting experience you haven't had yet? For me, it's my new job. It's this new job that I'm about to take on. I am really excited, but I'm terrified. And I think the biggest thing for me, and the biggest realization that I've had lately, even though I know that the only thing constant in my life is change, okay? Literally, the only thing I can promise you is things are going to keep changing in your life. Then that's it, okay? I can't promise anything else in your life except change continues constantly. So for me, although am terrified of change, I have to start making the changes to make my future better. And this new job and adventure is about to be, I think, my life-changing moment, because I'm finally stepping out of my shell. I am traveling to learn something new. I am really putting myself out there, and it's really hard because I don't like to be vulnerable. I don't like to make myself vulnerable. I don't like to rely on other people. But at this point in my life, I have to rely specifically on one gentleman to teach me a trade that I've never done. I know I can do it. I just have to learn it, you know? So for me, that's my scary but exciting experience that I haven't had yet. I have not been married also, something a little more of like a simple answer. I've not been married. I don't know if that part's the blessing. For those of you that have gone through a divorce, you know. But I'll ask again, you guys. It says, the quote is, experience is a good teacher, but she sends in terrific bills. What's a scary but exciting experience you haven't yet had? What is something y'all want to do? Skydiving, bungee jumping? You want to meet me? That's not scary. How is meeting me scary? Oh my Lanta, having a kid, that's a good one. Absolutely. I've got kids though, so I've been through that. Nobody? That's it? Only one answer? Well, two? None of you want to travel somewhere new. None of you have an adventure of something that's different that you guys want to do. None of you. You travel every year? All right, so Psychopath is getting ready to move. That hasn't happened yet. The Jeopardy, right? You're stumped. yeah, I wanna live a comfortable life. I think that's where I'm at. I'm tired of living a life where you struggle, you know. But I guess this day and age right now, that's the thing. A lot of people are struggling. So I'm forcing myself to make the changes that are needed to to make my future better. And even though it's scary to put yourself out there and to risk your comfort zone, I think for me that this one's going to be worth it. But Megan, are you ready? Guys, welcome to Lessons Learned. I'm Silly Lily, and we're getting ready to introduce Megan Mimosa. We're going to be discussing how you've got to really be careful who you invite into your home as a roommate. And we've not done this one, and so I'm actually kind of thankful for this because I know that a lot, like nowadays, especially, a lot of people need roommates to get the bills covered. Otherwise, you don't get everything paid. All right, Megan, I'm going to let you in here. Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. All right. Thank you very much for being willing to be on the show. I know it's not easy to put yourself in a box and talk about yourself all the time like this. So I do
Right.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
But let's go ahead and we'll just dive right in and give these
Okay.
guys just a little bit of information on how you came to decide to talk about this topic and let them know some of the things you learned.
Basically, it's not easy moving in someone for the first time. For a long time, I haven't really let anyone in my house for about 14 years. I did back in the day, but I had to relearn the experience. You can't trust everyone. So
Yeah.
some people
So,
are not willing to pay or do anything around the house, or they start to get mean and bitter and eat all your food. And it's just kind of like really scary to be around, in your
yeah,
own
like
home.
your teenage kids, right?
Right.
Like that needs to be in the applications. Are you going to turn into my teenage child or will you remain an adult?
Yes, absolutely.
Your roommate eats all your food too? Yeah. Yeah, mine does too. But ours are our kids, Boop. I think that Megan here, unfortunately, took in an adult who was not quite what they said they were.
No.
What do you think that the biggest thing you would have done differently prior to having them move in? What do you think that a couple of the things to help that could have helped you maybe not end up in this situation?
Probably just not let her move in if she didn't have a job, because she said she was looking, but I should have known better than that. Like, you can't trust people. They're going to say that just to get in and kind of get their foot in the door. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I know that when we were discussing this on the
yeah.
Instagram too, you mentioned like the actually running the legit background check to make sure that you know who you are bringing into your home. Now, I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
necessarily feel like running background checks on everybody is in my life anyway is not important. I'm not hiring you
No.
for my job, you know. But if you're going to
Right.
move them into your home and you don't really know them, I feel like that's definitely something that is important, especially nowadays when there's so many people who don't want to work,
Yep.
you know?
And especially don't let them put any type of mail in your house, like at all, for any reason. If they do that, they have a lot of rights.
Yep.
So,
One
gotta
letter.
remember
All it
that.
takes is one piece of mail with
That's
their
it.
name on it and your address, and you cannot make them leave without
Yep.
a long process.
Yep. All
I know
kinds of
someone
court
going through
process.
something right now, and that was the warning I gave him. I said, you had better get her out before she gets a letter, otherwise, you're stuck.
Yeah, you're kind of screwed at that point.
Yep, yep. And you can't bring someone else in and take the place to help you with the bills because that person won't leave.
Yeah.
Yep, yep, yep.
Yes, you can definitely get order protection. That's for sure.
But that doesn't mean they have to leave.
No. And they don't have to grant you that. So,
Yeah.
You have to
You
prove
really
that
got
they're
to make
actually.
sure. I think people nowadays are very quick to do the instant relationship or instant friendships and then the moving in and without really getting to know one another.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
another
Pretty
question.
much. I didn't know a lot about her. She was homeless probably 10 times before this. But she kept saying that it was just an issue, that people were just being rude to her. And I wanted to believe so bad that that was the case, but that was not. So,
Yeah. It's crazy how many people are willing to manipulate you just because they don't want to be an adult.
yep, pretty much. That's bad.
That's awful. Um, what do you think the biggest lesson you're taking away from this? Like, if you could tell anybody one thing right now, what do you think that you would make sure people knew?
Um, just learn about like who they surround themselves with and what kind of like job experience they've had in their past. Because if they can't keep a job, they're probably not going to be very responsible or reliable in your home. So, and they're not going to help around your house at all. They're going to be lazy. They're going to eat everything, and they're just going to sit around and kind of mope and do nothing. So,
Yep, that's
yeah.
like my teenage son.
And they need to be a little bit older, preferably, because it seems the younger ones don't really get it. They're kind of irresponsible. So,
Yeah. I'm so my son is 22 and I had him staying with me and I actually had to boot my own son because he didn't want to pay. He didn't clean up after himself. He took he took over my daughter's room and my daughter and I were sharing a room and he wasn't happy with that because her lizard had to stay in there. And it was just like, I brought you in here and all you do is complain. He didn't work for the entire, he was here for a few months and he kept going, well, I'm doing this. I'm going to do this. I got to wait for this. And for like 2 months, he was waiting for it to snow. And I'm like, it's only November. What are
oh my
you going to do
goodness.
when it's not snowing,
No, not for
Um,
months.
and and then now granted as my kid, it's different. I dealt with it a lot longer than I think I would have with an adult per
Yes.
se. Um, but that's got to be really hard to be so generous to let somebody you hardly know move into your home and to be so blatantly disrespected. I
Yes.
think that's what kills me the most is that these folks who come in are just so okay with being so disrespectful.
Oh, yes.
I don't get it at all. It blows my mind.
I had to walk away a lot of times, like just the words that were coming out of her mouth. I was just like, oh no. Like, I can't believe
Mhm.
this is happening in my own home. Like, this nightmare. It's just something you feel like you can't control until you stop it. So,
I don't
unfortunately,
know.
I'm
I'd be
surprised.
playing loud music right after she goes to bed every day. I would have no groceries in the house. I would be ordering DoorDash for every darn meal. Oh my God. I just see her. I'm like, I couldn't imagine another adult, like another grown adult taking advantage of somebody. I just, me being myself, I'd rather sleep in my car and be hungry than take advantage of another human being.
Yes,
But
me
that's
too.
because I've been taken advantage of and I know how it feels. And I would never want to make somebody else feel like that ever. So for those
Right.
of you that are doing what we're talking about, shame on you. Get a
Really.
job. Feed yourself. You're grown. We ain't
Right.
your mama. All
Nope.
right? We're not your mama. Um, so do you have like, is this been a resolved problem or are you still in the
Yes,
process of
I
figuring this
resolved it.
out?
Yes.
It's done, it's over with. Oh, thank
Thank
God.
God. I'm so glad.
Not
It
the
was
mama.
it's bad.
Every time, this might age me, but you guys remember dinosaurs with the little baby dinosaur? Not your mama, not your mama. Every time oh my God, that ages me so much. But anyways, that's okay. I love that show.
That was a
Um,
good movie.
it was, it was. I I don't know. I guess I'm kind of stuck because for me, like I said, I couldn't see myself doing that. But then again, there's a lot of things people do that I can't see myself doing. So I think what most of you got to realize and understand, and I think the thing I'm taking across the most from this is that you've got to make sure you know who it is that you're moving in. Just because you know them from
Yes.
online or because you've had some on the phone conversations, right?
Doesn't mean
That
anything.
that doesn't mean that you know somebody. It takes 6 months to a year of constant conversations to really
Absolutely.
truly get to know another person. And even then, either way, when you move in after that, you still see other sides of that person that you hadn't seen.
Yeah.
Um, Take
Living with
it
someone's
slow,
different.
take it easy. And no
Yeah.
matter how much you want to help somebody, you need to keep yourself first.
Absolutely. That's 100% correct.
You
You
know,
have
because
to
it's not
for
your fault
yourself.
another grown adult can't take care of themselves, because you can do it. I can do it. Heck, I can take care of two. I've taken care of 2 kids as a single mom without child support. If I can manage that crap, I'm pretty
Right.
sure one adult with no kids can figure out a job that can pay the basic bills. Um,
Absolutely. They
and
can.
and that was hard because I've had exes where I moved them in because they didn't, like where they were, this or that, and it never worked,
Yeah.
because it turns out that they didn't like where they were because they didn't respect the person that they lived with. So find fellow roommates. But like, can I talk to your mom?
Yes. If you can get along with their mom, you might like them.
I need to talk to your mom, previous roommates, landlords, all that stuff. Oh my God.
Car
Um,
dealerships.
you think you'll ever move anyone in again?
Probably not for a while.
Not for a while. Keep that peace of mind, right? Keep that
Absolutely.
peace of mind.
It's more important for me at this point.
I
Just
agree.
having peacefulness, not having all that stress, and no, it's like just too clustered. I don't know. Like she's just in my space, and when she wasn't, she'd hide from me across the house. Like so, it was like she didn't want me to know she was here, like in my house.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was weird. It's like I'm here, but I'm not here. I'm out of your way,
Right.
so it's okay if I'm here. I'm like, no, that's not how this works.
Yeah, no, it's everything costs money, y'all. And if you're gonna live somewhere, you gotta pay.
Yep.
You can either split it with somebody who's willing to do that. Sorry, y'all. Or you can pay them all on your own.
Right.
I think splitting with somebody, especially when the stuff's in their name, sounds like a pretty reasonable offer.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. And you get to
So
pay half, not the
half
full
and half.
price.
Heck, if I had someone I trusted to pay half the bills, I mean, I don't know. I'm still looking to be adopted. I've not had any finalized papers yet. I'm tired of adulting. I clean. I cook. So I don't know. I don't want a roommate. I want to be adopted. Okay.
I can agree with that.
I don't want to be an adult anymore. I've been a mom for 22 years. I'm over it. I'm just kidding. I would never be done momming. I love momming. All right. So if you guys are just tuning in, this is Megan. I'm Silly Lily, and you are watching Lessons Learned. We meet here every Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Megan had the unfortunate experience of dealing with a very selfish, lazy roommate. And those are my words, not hers, just to be clear. Um, and I will say them proudly, and your whoever can get mad if they're listening, but that's a fact. You don't move into somebody's home and take advantage of them and expect me not to say at least that. But her whole thing coming on today was making sure that we're aware that people are not always who they say they are, and you need to take the time to get to learn them, especially before introducing them or welcoming them, into your home permanently.
Yes.
It's one thing for a weekend or a visit, right? Let's vacation, but
Yeah.
take your time. I don't know. Is there anything you wanted to add to this topic before I bombard you with some other basic questions?
Mm, nope. Not that I can think of off the top.
All right. So, Megan, do you have certain times that you stream?
Usually in the morning.
Mornings? Okay. How early mornings? Like,
Anywhere from midnight all the way till like at least 8 or 9, 10.
Midnight is not the morning. That is bedtime.
Well, midnight. Yeah, midnight from the night before. Because I usually wake up around that time.
Oh, Malanta. No, I'm just teasing. So if you guys are up when the sun is not, make sure you favorite Megan, or if you're an early riser, you can catch her towards the end of her stream. Do you have any other shows you're on? Any other events? Anything you're hosting? Anything like that coming up?
The 28th, I have something coming up.
Are you in a battle? Are you on a show? Auction?
Yep, it's an auction.
Auction? Okay, okay. So on the 28th, she is in an auction. Do you know what time? Jay says, let me find out. He's got it all written down.
I'll get on looking at it on my Instagram.
You're all right. You're all right. I can't keep track of anything either, as an emoji or not. But if you have time, I know not everybody's, can afford to do the gifting stuff, which is understandable. But if you can go spam the emoji, guys, if you guys are in a stream and they've got an event, whether it's a battle, an auction, or even right now with Megan being in the guest box, you could, Megan, do you have an emoji? I don't see one in your name.
Yeah. I know it's gone. It's weird.
You can spam the emoji. Make them know that you're there. You don't have to gift to make the streamer feel important.
Right.
There's her emoji. Okay. So, you could spam that while she's talking, spam it during the auctions. So for any of you guys that are not streamers and you guys attend these events, it's not about the gifting. It's just about you guys being there.
Right.
We understand that not all of us, me especially, have the funds to be throwing jets and carpets and stuff like that, right?
Right.
But I have the ability to show up and spam the emojis. That's free.
Absolutely.
So for those, one more shout out before I kick you out the box. For those of you that just tuning in, you missed Megan. And what Megan and I talked about is how you have to take the time to get to know somebody before you move them into your home, because you don't really know them and they could be lying to you and taking advantage of you just to get the roof over their head. So you really, really need to make sure the DeWalt, that is honestly the topic of this morning. I promise it was not my pick either. But she had a roommate that came in, kind of did the avoidance thing, or was really in the face, eats her food, doesn't pay, disrespectful. And she had to learn the hard way that you've really got to take the time to get to know the person before you move them in. So if you've not done so already, favorite that beautiful woman, please. Go check her out. I will be sleeping for most of your streams. However, if I get on early, I'll send you a verse, because I get on usually about 6:30 in the mornings and stuff like that. I had to make sure I had you favorited before I let you go. I did not. I'm so sorry, but you're favorited now. And Megan, thank you for being on here, y'all, and I will see you later. Thank you.
Thank you.
Y'all, that was a good topic today. I actually almost moved somebody in here for about 6 to 8 weeks, but she opted to take a different choice, a different route. So hearing this, I'm really glad. I will send it to you, DeWalt, on your IG. But all right, Megan. Everybody, bye, Megan. Guys, thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the favorites. I apologize that I can't interact with all of you right now. However, if you hit me with a favorite, you can come back and we can chit chat about any and all topics afterwards. All right. But yeah, Megan, you're free to go. You did awesome. And thank you so much. And then we're going to have Guy in the Box up after I do a few of these self-care. I just closed it. Why did I do that? Hold on. I'm a mess. Guy in the Box. There he is. All right. How are you today, sir? I will have you ready. I will be ready for you in about 6 to 8 minutes or so. I do a few self-care questions and then tips. And for those of you that know me, you already know I'm going to ask you, what have you done for yourself today? Guy in the Box, don't be nervous. Look, it's just me. Picture everybody else in their underwear. You'll be fine. It's okay. I can even get a little closer and pretend like it's just the two of us. We're on like a FaceTime call, right? All right, what have you guys done for yourself today? Called mental health. That's important. Mental health is so, so, so important. Yeah, T ate fruit. Woohoo! We're trying to get T to eat more fruits and vegetables, specifically the vegetables, but we're happy with some fruits for now. All right, guys. What have you done for yourself today? Water. Yes, that is one of my tips, Queen Savage Tiger. My first tip, well, the last tip I give is drink your water. For those of you that don't know, Ted and Mama woke up. There you go. If Smiley was here, she would say that we had coffee. Coffee is crucial. But I don't know, for those of you that know, you are supposed to drink half of your body weight in fluid ounces. So if you weigh 150 pounds, you should be drinking approximately 75 ounces of water a day. Y'all have no idea how important drinking water is. I ran out of spring water yesterday. I have not drank water. I feel like poop. I'm telling you right now, that water gives you more energy than all the coffee in the darn world. You've got to drink your water. I would recommend 6 bottles of water for the average person on the average day. And that's if you're not outside sweating your derriere off in the heat. I work outside in this heat, so I drink about 1 gallon of water a day. I only drank a half a gallon yesterday. I haven't drank any today, and I'm dragging butt. You guys have no idea how important water is for you guys. And on top of that, a lot of times, too, another self-care kind of sort of tip for those of you that don't know is sometimes our body, when we're so thirsty, it mistakes it for hunger and we crave salty things. So we go in and we grab food instead of water. So for those of you that are trying to make healthier choices for yourself and feeling better and having more energy, if you think that like, okay, I just ate, I shouldn't be that hungry, but your tummy's made, you know, try to drink a glass, 8 ounces of water, then see if you're still hungry. And always go for something that you're like, eat, but you're not really hungry. And if you're like, I'm going to eat that apple, but you're like, I don't really want that apple, your butt's not hungry either. You're boredom eating. And that's something else that I'm learning. I'm doing it right now. I've put on a couple pounds because I'm boredom eating. So we need to stop that. But those are a couple of tips, questions, I guess, kind of mixed in. But my next question for you guys, what makes you feel like you're at your best? When do you feel you're at your best? For me, it's when I'm helping other people. It's when I can make somebody else smile. It's when I'm asleep, says Boop. It's when I'm given an opportunity to make a difference in somebody else's life. And you make others' days, yeah. I think for me, that's when I feel my best. It's when I put my own needs and my own wants aside to help someone else. And I don't by any means say that if it's something that makes me uncomfortable or it's something I don't want to do, then you don't do it. But if someone is having a bad day and they just need to vent and they need someone to listen without judging, and they need you to listen without assumptions, because you know what they say when you start assuming, right? You make an ASS out of you and me? That's no joke either. Question number 3 and final question is, when was the last time you were social? When was the last time you went out with your friends or some family, that you got out of the house? Yesterday? Nice. Anybody can vent to me. I vent to y'all all the time. It's like, you know, what goes around comes around. Y'all listen to me, I listen to you. You know, yesterday, what did you guys do? What did you guys do? What did you go out and do? Hola. Hablo inglés. Thank you for the favorite. Ooh, you went for lunch. Nice. So the last time I went out to be social other than work was a couple weeks ago. And it had been so long. You guys, I felt so weird being out. But then when I finally loosened up, it was so fun. And, you know, we had a good time and we had a lot of laughs. But yeah, it's so important, you guys, put the phone down, turn the TV off, and go outside. Enjoy nature. Go outside, walk, take a walk with your friends. It doesn't cost money to go hang out with your friends, you know? Go to your friend's house. Just get out of your house and go do something different. I found myself for a really long time cooped up in my house and not taking adventures and not living my life. You know, I was living through the app, and as much as I love this app being a part of my life, yes, Boop, I know I'm your friend, so deal with it. But anyways, it is so important that okay, you've got to be respectful. This is a featured show. This is your final warning, and normally I don't give the warnings. I just have them boot you. But you need to be respectful and watch your mouth. No foul play, only positive vibes, please. Jay, I just said I gave him the warning. He was cool before that. And self-care tip, get outside, enjoy the nature, get your booty moving, you know, go for a walk. If you don't want to go outside, you know, do some exercises and stuff. I normally kick them right away, but there's, yeah, well, that's, and sometimes I drop a bad word too. That's why you got the one warning. Okay, well, so I got to ban myself during shows. Feel me? One warning on those. If they're not negative, one warning. But anyways, get moving, dance, be free, dance like nobody's watching. I don't know. If you've got an exercise bike, you can get a treadmill. There's all kinds of ways that you get a hula hoop, go roller skating, but be active, get your blood flowing, and just don't just sit around. A body in motion stays in motion. A trust fall, I don't think that I would do that. I do not think that I could do a trust fall at all. Ooh, all right. Our last tip before we have guy in the box. Get in my box. Okay. Are you guys ready for this one? I need all of you to listen very, very, very carefully. This is something every single one of us should be doing daily. Are you ready? Are you listening? All of you are listening? Practice daily gratitude. As we lay there at night or when we wake up in the morning, a lot of us tend to go, oh, I screwed this up, or oh, that was terrible, or I can't believe that happened. But granted, that's okay. You need to remind yourself of the positive things that happened. You cannot only dwell on the negativity. Negativity breeds negativity. Positivity breeds positivity. And granted, we all have moments, okay? We all go through things, and we all need to vent, and we all need to be mad, sad, angry, or whatever it may be, right? We all need to do that at some point. But if you stay stuck in the negative, you can't find the positive because you're not looking for it. You've got to find the positive. So if you don't do this now, every day before bed, in a little book, you need to write, I am thankful for 1, 2, 3. My delicious breakfast that I made. My raise. That walk that I went on. Anything that was positive. Write it down. And as you're sitting there going, oh, I can't believe I did this and this and this, just look at the positive things. Just look at them. And read them over and over and over again. Because I'm telling you right now, when you think positive thoughts, more positive things will happen. If you're stuck in the negative, more negative things are going to happen. And I know that's hard. Personal experience, okay? I get stuck like crazy a lot. But I have people in my life that are like, excuse me? You? Who are you? Where's Lily? And why are you talking like this? And they check me. So if you need someone to check your positive vibes, I will do that gladly for you. Okay? Guy in the box, are you ready? For those of you guys just tuning in, welcome to Lessons Learned. We are a featured show, and we meet here every Friday at 10 a.m. And we are getting ready to meet the guy in the box. I'm hitting the positive button right now. What's up, Leah? So,
What's going on? How are we doing?
Good. How are you?
You.
Good, good. So I know you're a little nervous. Don't be. Like I said, so when I first started my shows, I don't know if this will help, but if you turn the comments off,
Yeah.
it helped me. It helped me a lot. So if it gets too much, you get distracted.
I was actually one step ahead of you. I've already done that.
Okay. Just that was a trick that took me about 8 shows before I could turn the comments on to interact and to do both.
Funny, I'm not a shy person, but for this type of environment and what we're discussing, it's a little different. So
it's really hard to make yourself vulnerable, and that's why I thank each one of you guys as you get on here for being on here, because if it was easy to do, people would be lined up, right?
if it was easy, everyone would be doing it, right? I hear you.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, guy in the box, give us a little bit about what we're going to be talking about today.
Just growing up with a father that really was not a great man, and you know what I tried to take from that and apply it to me and my child today, my kids actually. One child in particular I'm going to talk about, but more than the rest. Not that the others ain't important, but you know. At my life, at this stage in my life right now, you know, that's where it's at. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
So more or less, maybe your father wasn't there the way he should have been. Is that what I'm getting at?
Well,
or you're getting at? Sorry.
Well, all right, my father's an old Italian, so
Okay.
he was there in the aspect, you know, we always ate good, had clothes on our back, you know, but that was about it. After that, you know, it was Friday nights, the door closed. He went in the room. I'm like 5, 6 years old, searching through cabinets for food and shit. Like it was, you know, and then the next day well, I don't know if you're familiar with the drug scene, but I mean, in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, when you did drugs, like especially, you know, can I speak freely right now?
No, but just leave it layman's terms.
Okay,
Leave layman's terms. Yeah, please.
No. So anyway, yeah, so you know, he would do that, and then when he would come down, you know, back in those days, you had to come down with something.
Yes.
And yeah, when he opened the door Saturday morning, I thought, you know, when a normal kid should be watching cartoons, I was getting beatings. Like, I'm talking beatings. It was unreal. So yeah, he I grew up in residential homes. He left me in
Can someone get rid of Tim, please?
Yeah, I grew up in residential homes. The system raised me. And you know, when I was 16, they called him up. They said, Mr. Fazio, you know, your son's good with the program here. There's nothing more he can do. You know, he's gone through everything, and he, you know, I think reunification with the family and you know, out of the system is what he needs to be doing right now.
Right.
He looked. Now I'm in the room with the social worker, and I'm chilling, and I'm on the call with her. You know, I never forget her name. Her name was Linda Eldridge. Mind you, this is when I'm 16, and he just says, keep him. There's nothing I can do with him. My wife doesn't want him here. So, you know, being 16 and hearing that from your father was rough. It was rough. It wasn't easy. It was yeah. But
So,
yeah,
so having had what I would call a not so exciting growing up phase,
yeah.
what did you take away from this for you being a father? Because that's what I really want to focus on, that, you know,
Because
how it
I'm everything.
changed.
I'm everything he's not. I mean,
Right, explain that. Tell me now. And I ask sometimes specific questions like this because sometimes there's people out there who may have been in your same shoes, but they're following the father's footsteps, right?
no,
So
that's
for this and what really was processing in my mind was, I want to know how he took something that was taught so negative and turned it into him being the father he wanted, you know? So what steps and how were you able to turn that?
well, stuff that, you know, I personally, I didn't graduate. Keep it real with everyone here. I didn't graduate. You know, I went through a lot of shit. And, you know, 42 years
Stuff.
old. Sorry. 42 years old, but I'm very financially okay.
Right.
But I got a son that's in college. My daughter, Ariana, 17. She shadows a nurse. She's like a, what do they call that when they shadow the nurse there? Intern.
Internship.
You know, I got another son getting ready to graduate. I got my problem child. I call my daughter Alexia, who's I'm working on. And that's the one I was mainly going to discuss. But for a guy that didn't have much of an education, you know what I mean. As far as school, I was on him. That's one thing about me. I was on him. Homework. There was no after school sports. You didn't do any of that stuff unless you did your homework. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I mean that wasn't applied to me, which I wish was, because maybe it'd be a little different for me. Yeah, you know
So what do you think the most important thing that you've done for yourself to make that change, to realize that's not what you wanted?
taking a step back and calming the hell down. Sometimes I just take a step back and just get your chi right. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, it's important. It's important. Take a few minutes, take a walk, take a space, listen to music. For me, that's my thing. But kids, man, they're a lot, you know. Especially my daughter. She yeah, she's something else.
My 22-year-old was I call him my PETA, my pain in the you know what.
I do know.
Now, what is
Not just, sorry, I just want to say not only that, not just what I said, but like talking to your kids. I think my father, what my father didn't do with me is talk to me. It was always yelling at me or beating me, or, you know, the belt came out, the shoes, whatever it was. I mean, I think if I had a normal, like, who has a normal upbringing, but you know, if I had that father
a
figure,
less physical upbringing?
I think I would have been great, because I can talk to all my kids, and, you know, to be able to communicate with them in a way, you know, like my father didn't do with us, you know, and, you know, me and my brother, and, you know, that's important to me. And I think I find in myself trying to, push the buck with them, but that's only because I want to see better from them. You know what I mean? I only want better and better and better for them. So, yeah. So I mean, yeah.
That was my next question. Like, what was the biggest change that you think you made for yourself or for your kids that you didn't have, was going to be my question. What have you done for yourself to move forward and to become the man that you've become today? You know, the father that you are. Like, what do you think the biggest change? Well, I know you said stepping back and taking a little bit of a breather.
Well, losing my mom was tough, and just that, and then, you know, at the time when I was married, the girl I was with, you know, I didn't talk to my father for 8 years, and she kind of made me revisit some of those old issues, and I kind of just, I did, and it was like, you know, things. I want to be that father that they can count on, at the end of the day, a kid needs to be able to count on their parent. And in the world we live in today, a lot of kids don't have a father or a mother or anybody. But I know that I needed one. And I didn't get it. So I'll die trying for my kid to make sure she does. And the rest of them do, but especially my daughter.
I think the biggest lesson I made sure that both of my kids know from me is I'm by far a perfect parent. Okay. I am far from the perfect parent, but they know that they can come to me with anything, and they know that there is not one thing they can do on this earth that will make me stop loving them. Not one thing. Now, I may not agree with some of it that they do, or I may not like it or whatever, but because of the way my history is, which we're not about me, but it's along with that communication that you're saying, is it is so important that you guys talk to your kids. I understand sometimes they need a spanking, right? I get that. Sometimes spankings are in order when they're all little and stuff, because that spanking is less harmful than the hot iron or the hot stove, okay? But once they hit a certain age, I don't care how much you beat them. It ain't going to change them. You're only making them angry. You're only causing your child to be angry and mad at you when you beat them. You have to be able to talk. You have to give your child a safe, you are your child's safe. What are you doing? You are your child's safe space. Your child should never be afraid to come talk to you. And Guy in the Box, it sounds cliche, but I'm super proud that you, as a man who was raised in that way, were able to, and from what it sounds like, a younger age.
I was mild because, I didn't want to be too explicit and give my life story away, but it was so much worse. Yeah. I mean, I didn't want to get into everything.
I can tell by the tears in your eyes. I can feel it. Maybe that's why I'm talking more, is because I know I'm trying to help you through it.
Listen, I was told before I came on the show, it was one of these shows where you're able to get personal and you got to speak, and I'm just trying to give you that, and that's the real deal. So
yeah, no, I can feel it, and I'm very proud that you. Because sometimes you see the replications replication of the then son now being a dad doing the same thing, because that's what they were taught. You know what I mean? They're not able to differentiate and to realize that.
Like I said, with the whole school thing, I had to do it with them because I see the way the world is. So in my career of being a parent, I never missed a day taking them to the bus stop. Never missed a day, a parent meeting. I never missed a chaperone at a field trip. I really applied myself in being the very best I can, because at the end of the day, when I'm gone and I ain't on this earth no more, I want them to have the tools, especially my daughters. I don't want them to have to depend on no man. You know what I mean? And my sons, I don't worry so much about, because they got their father in them.
Remember, your daughters have their father in them too.
I know.
Don't discount us ladies, Guy.
The girls give me more problems than the boys. It's terrible. It's terrible. But listen, I love your show. Thank you for having me on here.
Thank you for being on here. Before I let you go, do you have any times that you stream specifically or anything?
I'm not a streamer. I come on here. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I come on here just to I get some time to kill. Come on here, mess around. I ended up meeting Miss Emerald Empress, and it's been a 3-week roller coaster. Like, I'm hooked. I got the diamonds going now. I don't know what the shit. I'm sorry. I don't know what the stuff means. I got the hearts. I got this. There's too much going on here, actually. But I love the site. I think it's been beneficial. Messed up my sleeping patterns a little bit, but we're on track.
I feel that.
We're definitely getting
sleep. What's that?
I don't even know what sleep is anymore.
All right.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I had no idea you weren't even a streamer, so I extra thank you, because now I understand why you were so nervous, like a lot. But thank you. If you guys haven't done so, favorite Guy in the Box. Maybe he'll favorite you back. Come check you out. You guys can, chit chat more. I will see you. I will let you go. That was awesome, you guys. That's a hard topic. So thank you. Thank you.
Do I
But
click
yeah,
out here?
you could go. He's like, let me out of this box. He says, I'm done. You guys got to understand one thing about this show. Okay? Is every one of my guests are making themselves extremely vulnerable. Okay? That's why sometimes it's hard to find guests, because there's a lot of people in this world that aren't willing to put themselves out there like that. But the ones that do, I want all of you to know, every single guest I've had on this show has helped somebody. You have all bettered somebody. You've all helped somebody see something in a way they hadn't seen it before. You've all helped somebody. You've all put a smile on someone's face. And some of y'all make me cry, okay? Be it happy tears or sad tears. Every single guest on this show has made a difference to somebody other than me, because you all helped me. Like, I didn't have the best upbringing. My dad wasn't around. And I totally relate to that, talking to your kids, making sure your kids understand life. Because I'm telling you right now, life is not fair. Life might be one of the biggest bullies we face. But if we face it together, it makes it easier. Hence the emojis in my name. Infinity symbol, strong arm. Forever stronger together. Because when you face this world alone, it is a giant, scary place. So just remember, forever stronger together. Find your people. Find your person. But you just need one. Because a problem shared is a problem cut in half. Period. Period. So if you guys are just tuning in, welcome to Lessons Learned. My name is Silly Lily, and we meet here every Friday at 10 a.m. Being a featured show, I'm sorry I can't interact with all of you one-on-one right now. I can't thank you personally for all the favorites or the gifts, but I do thank all of you. I thank you for your time more than anything. Because for most of you, you've been here this whole hour, and you could have done anything else for this hour. So thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for supporting my guests. If you have a featured show on this app, or you have a featured show that you enjoy, or both, please shout out these shows. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Shout out your show. Shout out your favorite show if you happen to be a host. Okay. Give the show name, the date, and the time. I know I see a couple of hosts right in front of my face. Artman, Emerald Empress. I know Vibe was in here. His is Vibrance has Who Wants to Be a Diamondeer? Oh, crap. Thursdays at 4. Emoji J, when's yours? I know at noon today we got Boss Bro. We've got tomorrow night, we've got Smurfy show at 4. Thank you, Emerald. Wednesdays at 4 is Who Wants to Be a Diamondaire. I will be on that show soon, so keep an eye out, folks. I know that Triple L has a show at 7 p.m. on Saturdays that I watch. As T said, good listeners, What's Today Again is 6 p.m. on Sundays. Fake Facts Monday or Wednesdays at 12 a.m., which is Tuesday nights at like 11:59 p.m. going into 12 a.m. Because I almost made the mistake and showed up the next day, but luckily he fixed that. So, so it's 12 a.m. Wednesday or 9 p.m. Eastern, or 9 p.m. Pacific, 12 a.m. Eastern. But 2 different days, so it's confusing. An attempt was made with Emerald is Thursdays at noon. Anybody else? Any other shows? I'm having a hard time thinking of more right now. But really quick before we go, I have one last thing to do. What I'm going to read is your quote and your question and the question, but we will not answer this until next week. So really quick, get it, Jay. I think I'm the happiest I've ever been. Part of it is just learning what makes me happier and doing more of it and learning what makes me unhappier and doing less of it. How do you make yourself happier? Do not answer this now. We're going to answer this about 10:04 next Friday, 10:06, whenever I get to it. I'm going to take the rest of these out and put them in the box. But thank you guys for tuning in today. I appreciate every single one of you for showing up and for being here. Again, thank you for the gifts. Thank you for all the favorites. And again, most importantly, thank you for your time. And we're fucking off the featured set. I can be me again. Well, I mean, I'm me anyways, but it is so hard not to curse. My phone went flying. I couldn't pick it up. I got to change my picture. Oh, all right, guys. Nah, you guys, that was a good one. That was a good one. Today's show was awesome. Okay. Let me see what my boss is doing. All right, did my picture change back? So, Rodney, we meet every Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the show is Lessons Learned. I have a flyer, but I no longer look like the person in the flyer, so it's weird. Like, I look like them, but I don't look like them. But that picture was taken over a year ago. Dallas. Oh, I can smoke my babe. Oh, good morning. Yeah. So my hair is purple now. I'm no longer blonde.